Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. The sisters of Lazarus sent word to Jesus saying, Master, the one you love is ill. When Jesus heard this, he said, This illness is not to end in death, but is for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Now, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that he was ill, he remained for 2 days in the place where he was. Then after this, he said to his disciples, Let us go back to Judea. When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him. But Mary sat at home. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, Your brother will live. Martha said, I know he will live, he will rise in the resurrection on the last day. Jesus told her, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, Yes, Lord. I have come to believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, the one who is coming into the world. He became perturbed and deeply troubled and said, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Sir, come and see. And Jesus wept. So the Jews said, See how he loved him. But some of them said, Could not the one who opened the eyes of the blind man have done something so that this man would not have died? So Jesus, perturbed again, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone lay across it. Jesus said, Take away the stone. Martha, the dead man's sister, said to him, Lord, by now there will be a stench. He has been dead for 4 days. Jesus said to her, Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? So they took away the stone, and Jesus raised his eyes and said, Father, I thank you for hearing me. I know that you always hear me, but because of the crowd here, I have said this, that they may believe that you sent me. And when he had said this, he cried out in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. The dead man came out, tied hand and foot with burial bands, and his face was wrapped in a cloth. So Jesus said to them, untie him and let him go. Now, many of the Jews who had come to Mary and seen what he had done began to believe in him. The Gospel of the Lord. Great people of God, we are very much blessed. We are very much privileged that we know God, that we are related, we are associated with God, we encounter the Lord. Why are we privileged? Why are we blessed to know him? We are blessed, we are privileged because the God we are serving is a God whose goodness is unquantifiable. We can't comprehend God's goodness. His nature is suffused with goodness. As we declared this morning through our responsorial psalm or the response, that in God there is mercy and fullness of redemption. That in God there is mercy and fullness of redemption. So if you have somebody who is disposed to let go, to accommodate, and to empower you to the greatest height, what else can we wish for ourselves? When he's making his declaration, his promises, they seem too good to be true. They seem not to be feasible. It's not possible. How can it be? Like when he told people before us that he is a God who has the ability, the disposition, the desire to raise his people from their graves. We know when somebody is weak or incapacitated, people help him somehow. But when somebody is dead, that is the end of him. And worse still, when somebody is buried, when somebody is entombed, once the person enters the grave, we feel that is the end of him. If somebody is not yet buried, sometimes we may have hope that maybe he's in coma, or maybe he who knows, he might not have died. But once we bury that person, we feel it's over. But he says that even in the grave, that he will raise his people and give them spirit to fare well, to inherit the land. So if he says he wishes, he desires to raise us from the worst experience we could face, then that is a great encouragement that all other experiences that we might have, that he is able to take care of them. That when I have personal challenge, be it my mistakes, be it my health challenge, financial challenge, disappointment, name it, or my weakness, that I'm stuck with this, that I want to overcome this sinful disposition, this habit or the other. I want to be the best of wife or husband or father or mother or children, but I've not been able, and I feel I'm helpless. This thing seems to be beating me. He says he wishes, he desires to help us to get over it. And we are told that in him is mercy. So that even if I'm the cause of my mistake or my challenging situation or whatever, I should not feel that God has abandoned me because of my that I'm the person that undid myself. That I'm not the cause of what I'm facing. That God is merciful. That he will always forgive. He will always let go. Because the devil at times used that plan to keep us in chain, to make us feel that God cannot forgive us. That the sin I've committed, my offense is so much that God cannot undo anything, that I'm stuck with it. But he says that he's merciful. And not only that he's merciful, that redemption, freedom, fullness, not just freedom from this or that, but fullness of freedom. And that is what he demonstrated in the gospel, to show that God has that fullness of a redemption, that he can free us from whatever. We saw how Martha, when Christ told them, remove the stone. And Martha said, Lord, what for? He's dead and has been dead for 4 days. That if we open the tomb, that we are to be faced with nothing but stench, odor, pungent, smelling, whatever. So, it's a hopeless situation. Let's not go there. It's a forgotten. That one is closed. It's a closed matter. Christ said, didn't I tell you that I'm the resurrection and life? The God who has the fullness of redemption. And Martha, luckily for her and others and Lazarus, believed him. He didn't say, oh, this is too good. Lord, I didn't ask you for this one. This one, it's not possible. Because Martha wasn't even thinking of that before. Because when he told, he said, I know he will rise, but that is at the resurrection, but not for this world. His own for this world is finished. It's a closed case. It's a closed chapter. But she trusted Christ. And now she experienced the fullness of redemption for her brother and for herself and others. So it's for us, as St. Paul says, that if we have the Spirit of God in us, if we allow God's Spirit in us to continue to inform our lives, that our lives will continue to be the better of it. And how can we do that? We have example, what these people did. among which is that they are associated with Christ. Lazarus, Mary, Martha, they knew Christ. They were friends. So now the chiefs were down. They banked on the relationship they have with Christ. So we are told when Christ wept, the people observed, they said, "Oh, see how he loved him." So it's an encouragement for us to continue to walk towards being with God, to encounter God. That the more we reach out to God, when the more challenging moments, we can now have recourse to Him. We will even be disposed to ask Him to help out, because we encounter Him, because He is with us. But when we keep far from Him, when the chiefs are down, we may not even remember to call on Him, or we won't have the courage to call on Him because we feel we have forgotten Him for a while. But when we keep on with Him, with prayers, being active in things that has to do with Him in the parish and the church, that keeps us united with Him, so that when there is need, we are more disposed to call on Him. And again, not only that we relate with Him, that we are also encouraged to get Him involved in our situation. The disappointments that I have in life, people I find difficult to forgive, wounds that I find difficult to heal, my weaknesses, my sinful inclinations that I've been fighting, struggling over, my habits that I've been struggling over, being impatient with people, criticizing people, being using God's name in vain and all whatnot, pornography, whatever. These weaknesses that I've observed, that I've been struggling, how did I get God involved in it? When Lazarus was sick, it was her sister now that got Christ involved. He told Christ, "Your friend is sick." So how do we are encouraged to get God involved in our weaknesses? He has the fullness of redemption to free us from these challenges. And not only that, what they did now, when we get him involved, He may want us to do this or to do that. Just as He told them, remove the stone, so that we ourselves will be disposed to do what His Spirit tells us to do. If I'm struggling with this or that, and He says, do this, apologize to your wife, to your husband, to your mother, to your children, step out. Get people who have overcome this challenge before, let them help you. Get involved in this group or the other group. Then it's left for me to say, God, thank you, and do what He says. Even if I've tried it before, or even if it seems not promising, if it's God's Spirit that tells me to do that, St. Paul encourages us, says, if God's Spirit leads us, we are better off. And that what led Martha and Mary to tell them, go on, remove the stone. Irrespective of what they feared, but they allowed the Spirit to prevail. And that's how God's glory played out. So for us to cooperate, not to say it has been long or this can't work. Like herself, he said, Lord, if you have been here, my brother would not have died. So somehow expressing disappointment that Christ delayed in coming. So what I'm struggling with, maybe it may have lasted long, a year, 2 years or whatever, but it's never too late for God to intervene. He has the fullness of redemption. And not only that, when he called Lazarus, he said, Lazarus, come out. With the cloth tied around him, he didn't say, no, I'm still tied. But he managed with those wrappings that he had until he now asked them, help him now, because he's already helping himself. So how do we help ourselves? And again, they helped him to untrap himself, to remove those ties. How do we help our loved ones when they are caught in one challenge or the other? Christ wept, God wept, because he saw these people with the challenge they had. He felt for them. How do we feel for our loved ones? My wife, my husband, my sister, my siblings, friends, colleagues. How do we feel for them? Or are we counting only the cost, the demand that is made on us? It was suicidal for Christ to venture to go there. His disciples said, the Jews wanted to kill you. Are you going back there? But he went because of friendship. So we ourselves, how do we help our people when they are facing challenges? The more we cooperate, the more God's goodness will continue to be experienced in our lives. And glory will continue to be his because of you, because of me.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia, qui aquam meruisti portare, alleluia, resurrexit sicut dixit, alleluia.